Hi guys, welcome to another edition of You Can't Win Anything with Kids with Manchester United. Now, apologies for being away for so long. Just with work, it's been like mega busy, so I've had like a couple of weeks where I've not actually recorded anything. So I'm hoping to get a lot of episodes up this weekend. So hopefully that'll appease those of you out there that are still listening to this and still are interested in this save. Now, couple of things that I need to talk about before we go into what we've done so far. In the meantime, is the transfers. Now, I had a bit of a dilemma. I was thinking, well, what do we do? Do we buy? Do we sell? What do we do? We got an offer from Real Madrid for Matteo Darmian for 25.5 million. We would daft to refuse that, considering he wasn't he was a starter for us, but not a fantastic player. So we took that money and ran with it, basically. Delighted with that. The other one we got was on transfer deadline day, an absolute fortune. £31.5 million for Juan Mata. Now, Juan Mata, if you don't know, or if you didn't know, in our team for the last season a bit, has been in and out. He's been argumentative. He's just been basically a nuisance, really. So to get 31.5 million for him was brilliant, and the reason that I sold him was because we had a ready-made replacement, Javier Pastore, from PSG, who we picked up at a snip really at 29.5 million. Now with his transfer, obviously it was before the two big transfers out, so we really had no money to spend at this point when we signed Pastore. So I went to the board and I said, well, I think he would help us do something. And for once, the board actually turned around and said yes. I was completely shocked by that. I was like, really? So they signed him for me for £29.5 million. As you can see, he's not really. I mean, he's played 3 games, all off the bench, and I'll explain why in a wee minute. But he is looking like he will be really good for us. Not only with obviously training players, tutoring players, that sort of thing. He's tutoring Stuart Banning at the moment, but also just in general, he is a very good player. So really happy with the capture of him. Now, I realised that what this series is all about is the youngsters progressing, the youngsters we bought progressing, and what I've decided to do is this season, since I've got my new contract with the club, just to say, look, I'm going to go for it. So, I mean, obviously we've signed big players in Odegaard, Varane, Pogba, and Pastore, and that's fantastic. But the main point in this series was all about the kids, and so what I've done, certainly you'll see in the first 5 games, and to be fair, in most of the games this season, I'll try and do this, is play a more settled young squad. Um, Obviously, you got the players out on loan. The likes of Scully, McDade, Wilson. They're all out on loan at the moment, and obviously trying to get Lamont, Whiteside games as well. But what I'm looking to do is really try and create a core team where we've got Varane, Schweinsteiger, Pogba, Pastore, and Higuain. Now obviously you got De Gea, Lavezzi, Smalling, Klose, Rooney, all those other people that are good enough for the squad. But in general, I'm wanting to see players really progress, and you'll see from some of the stats here that these players have been progressing quite a lot, just simply by playing games. You just having a quick flick through them, you can see progression being made just by playing games this season, and some of them is not fantastic, but it's enough to prove the point that playing first team games regular is improving these players. I mean, obviously, like Sabani, he's a little bit older, so you don't expect a huge progression from him. But you see these players and you think, well, yes, these players are really, really being improved, just by getting the opportunity to play first team. I mean, this Andy McCarthy, he's played first 5 games this season, and wow, look at that, look at that, that's just incredible. I'm really happy with that. So, right, so let's talk you through what we've done so far. Now, obviously, try to progress this a wee bit quicker than we did the last season, so I'll try and get it all done fairly sharpish. So first up, with last episode we just had an overview. So just quickly go over what happened in the Charity Shield. We lost 5-3 to Man City. Disappointing, yes. We played a very young team. I'll show you the Nisbet goal. From what I can remember, it was a nice finish from just inside the box. To refresh my memory on this one, but I think it was Schweinsteiger into McLaughlin into Bennett. Nice ball in, penalty spot, tapped in. Fantastic. So that'll do. So in this game, we played Connor Cullen, Matthew McAnally, Liam Lindsay, Michael McMillan, Stuart Bannigan, Andy McCarthy, and Kevin Nisbet from the start, with James Penrice and Neil McLaughlin on the bench, coming off the bench. So, disappointing game. We were destroyed. If you look at the stats, destroyed. To be honest, were we bothered with that tournament? No, we weren't. So, more disappointing was the start to the Premier League season. We lost 4-2 to Chelsea. Obviously, this is definitely not the best start to the season. Show you the Kevin Nisbet goal, because I think this was on that he started and finished the move. Started ball here, halfway line. Nisbet passes it to Higuain. He dribbles in, great cross, and a wee tap in from Nisbet. Fabulous. Absolutely brilliant. Poor game to lose, admittedly. Played basically the same team. I was disappointed in the team, but overall, you can see progression being made by the youngsters, so that was what we thought would be best. So, on to the Sunderland game. 1-3-1. Again, Kevin Nisbet scoring a goal, and I'll show you this again. I think it was an assist from Stuart Bannigan, if I remember rightly, on this goal. So, Pastore into Pogba. Pogba, great ball out to Bannigan. Bannigan, a great cross in, and another tap in from Nisbet. So, it was really good to bounce back from the game against Chelsea, which was a disappointment. With such a commanding game, really happy with that. So on to West Brom, 2-1 win, nothing major, but I'll show you both our goals, because they were both assisted by Michael McMullen, who is quietly having an outstanding season, although we're only a few games into it. Now here's Pastore, out to McMullen, great ball in, and there's Higuain. Fabulous. What a goal. And, what I'm trying to say with this youngster thing is, if we can keep playing them and keep them improving, you never know. Bannigan out in this bit, great ball to McMullen, inch perfect cross again for Higuain to tap in. And that was all good. So, final game before we get into the Schalke game was Tottenham at home. We lost 2-1. Disappointing. But Andy McCarthy scored, and it was set up by Michael McMillan yet again. This guy is an assist machine. He really is. Ball over from Pogba. Here's McMillan. Great ball in. McCarthy cushioned it, and what a finish. Tell you what, for a guy that's 17 years old, that is a quality finish. To beat someone like Hugo Lloris with a shot like that. Incredible. So again, we played the kids. Wasn't, again, overly thrilled with everyone's performance, but again, it's progression with these guys, and if they keep on progressing like they're doing, then they'll become really good players. So, on to today's game. It's the first first game in Champions League against Schalke. We can see we've been drawn against Schalke, Fiorentina, and Ludogorets. So decent group, I would say. Southampton, the Capital One Cup is also coming up. So what I'm going to look to do is probably play Schalke game, look to come back to the Fiorentina game, and then the second Ludogorets game, and then basically try and finish off the Champions League groups. So we'll see how that goes. But as I say, it's all about progression with this save now. So onwards to this game. Our team for today made a couple of quick changes because it's obviously the Champions League. Cullen in goals, McNally, McMullen, Varane and Lindsay at the back. Schweinsteiger defence midfield, Pogba, Bannigan, Pastore, who's coming for McCarthy, and up front Nisbet and Higuain. So as you can see, I mean the two strikers, 8 goals in 10 games between them. That's pretty good, pretty lethal. So hopefully we can continue that against Schalke. And here we go. So let's progress to the match. Let's see who they've got in their team. I don't like that. Oh, thank God he's missing. Wow, they're all missing. Fantastic. Oh, especially Huntelaar. Because he's some player. Right, so they've got Farman, Hiogo, Matip, Ayan, Caldara, Sane, Goretzka, Geis, Mayer, DeSanto, and Chopu Moting, which is a new one on me, but fair dues. That's fine. Hopefully, we've got enough in us to win this today. I'd be more confident if we were away from home first, if that makes any sense whatsoever, because I just feel that, you know, if you play away from home and you get a decent result, even a point, it makes the second game in the group against that team a lot easier. But we'll see what happens in this game. Tip away. Check still on key highlights, goal action, all good. Right, let's do this, guys. Come on. So let's see, we've had a mixed start to the season. Couple of wins, couple of defeats. Wasn't bothered that much about the Community Shield. But now we're getting to the point where if we can get some wins on the board, then you know we could start looking forward to the rest of the season. Good save, Connor Cullen. To be fair, he's played well this season, Connor Cullen. I've been pleased with him. To be honest, the four guys at the back, young kids, Cullen, McNally, Lindsay, McMullen, have been excellent this season, and I think, realistically speaking, going forward, if they're not 4 out of our back 5 for the rest of this, I won't know what we'll do. I mean, obviously, the bigger players, the Varans and the Schweinsteigers and all the rest of it, they'll come in and play their part. But this series is all about the kids. So we'll see how this team do as they are. Well saved, Connor Cullen. Fantastic. Well in there. Get it away, that's it. It's a bit of a backs to the wall job at the start here. I'm not too happy about that. Need to start getting the ball down and playing. Come on, guys. Right. Come on, get a grip of yourself, right? Team talk. Get a bloody grip. What am I going to say? Get creative. Got to do something. That's basically what I'm saying. Is do something. Anything. Just prove to me that you're worth the money that we are paying you. Just a wee point I wanted to make, just while we're in a bit of a lull in the game, was just check and see who's still watching it, who's watching the series. I mean, if you are, then that's fantastic. When I set this up at first, I wasn't expecting, hundreds of people to watch it, especially not as my microphone's absolutely rubbish. But to be fair, I'm just starting out here, so it's yes, Kevin Nisbet. Yes! What a header! That's it! That is it! Fantastic, Kevin Nisbet. Ball in from Higuain. Great. Right on his head. Ping! Or was it his foot? It might be his foot, actually. God, I thought it was a header at first. That'll do. I don't care who scored. That's brilliant. Whew. 1-0. Great. So what I was trying to say was, look, if you are still watching this and you're enjoying it, or you're interested just to see which players are progressing, or if there's something you think that I could do to make this series more interesting and entertaining for you guys, happy to hear from you in the comments. Really happy to take on board anything that you say, because obviously I'm learning at this. Obviously I play Football Manager for since 93, 93, 94. I'm an old man, but so close. Well, actually I'm 34, coming up 34 in February. So just to let you know that I'm willing to listen to anyone's comments. If anyone says that I think you should be playing this guy, or this guy's better position would be X, Y, or Z, I'm happy to hear from you. As it's all a learning curve with this community style game, and I want it to make it as interactive as possible. So, obviously I'm not going to take on board absolutely everything that everyone says, but as we can see the goal, Franco Di Santo. Well, I suppose if anyone was going to score, it was going to be Franco Di Santo, wasn't it? I mean, ex-Chelsea. It was a good finish, to be fair to him. There's nothing much we could do about that. So, we'll just move on. And hopefully we've come up to half time now, so make some changes and see what happens. Half time, 1-1. Okay. Get out there. Do your job. Win this game. Should I make a change just now? Might make one change. Not too sure what that change is going to be though. Now everyone seems to be playing okay. No, I'll keep it the way it is. Let's just go out there and absolutely destroy them in this half. Come on! As we see that, watch this, we're going to concede right away. Jesus, Connor Cullen, what a kick. That's awful. That's awful. I will 2-1 down. Right. Well, this makes it slightly more interesting. Yeah, we don't want to see that. That was poor. Connor Cullen. I'm disappointed in that. He's played well up to now. He's played well all season so far. And then that. Gutted. But individual mistakes are going to happen. This is, part and parcel of being a manager of a team with kids in it. So I'm not going to go totally ape at him for that. But I will make a couple of changes, I think, now. Smalling on for Lindsay. Closer on for Nisbet. Switched into round. And Lavezzi on for Bannigan. We'll go slightly more attacking and just see if we can make a difference. It probably won't. Don't get me wrong, it probably won't. But same time, it's worth a goal. In my mind, it's worth a goal. This is dilemmas that you face, really, isn't it? Just trying to keep the guys on to play the games, but also trying to win the game. Right. I just think, and I know that everyone says that doing this is mad, because it probably is mad, but I'm going to go for it. Screw it. Overload were 2-1 down there, we're losing. So, might as well go for it and see. And if something happens, it would be nice. But there's nothing happening at all. Go on at Mullen. Ball in. Lavezzi. Good ball. Closer. Closer. Yes! Goal! Miroslav Klose. That's the stuff, son. That is the stuff. That is why I brought you onto the pitch today. Lavezzi, ball in, Klose. His rebound there, it's like fucking pinball in the box there. And there's Klose. What a finish. That will do. We're back in it, lads. That's it now. Do I stay on overload or what do I do? I'll stay on overload. Just to see if we can snatch this at the day. Because that would be really good. I'm happy with how we've performed so far. Players are playing okay. Higuain's playing out his skin, obviously, you can see that from the ratings. But we still need to go for it. We're Man United, for God's sake, we're at home. If we don't go for it, then the fans will be calling for my head. I don't fancy that, to be honest. So, I mean, this is good, considering we've got a young team out there. Considering Cullen, McInally, McMullen, Lindsay before Smalling came on, Bannigan obviously before he got taken off, Nesbitt before he got taken off. You consider the youngness of our team, and to get a draw against Schalke, that's pretty good. I'll take that. Yep, that'll do. 2-2, final score. Not the greatest game in the world, but we'll take it. I'll have to say, look, it wasn't good enough. Should have won it. Get good reactions, get everyone fired up for the next game. Let's go for it. So, hopefully you've enjoyed that, guys. Sitting third in the group at the moment, not great, obviously, but it's early days. It's first game, early days, no problem. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going. Oh, transfers, interesting. Let's have a look. Send assistant to that. Can I bother that? 375k, 357k, sorry. Going on farm. Burton want Henderson on loan. As long as he's playing first team football, you can take him for 3 months. Not a problem. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a few games offline and come back to you at the Fiorentina game, where hopefully we'll be able to. Probably I might play a stronger team for that one since it is Fiorentina away. So I'll come back to you at that game, and hopefully we'll have some good news from the rest of the games. So thanks for watching, guys, and if you are out there and you are watching this video, leave a like or a comment just to let me know how you're enjoying the series, if you are, or if there's something that you think that I can do to improve this. That'd be much appreciated, and have a great night. Cheers, guys.